We are in the second meeting of the Global Summit on Diamond Open Access here at UCT in Cape Town. And Dr. Thandi was welcoming our guests in the meeting. And I have only a few questions for Dr. Thandi. Firstly is that how does the open access values and goals align with the NRF? And how is the NRF supporting open science?
Okay, thank you very much, Pendula. I'll start with the last question. But maybe before I do that, it's really a pleasure to be here. A number of African countries and international countries outside the continent are represented here, showing the interest and support of open access in open science initiatives. So coming to your last question, how does the NRF support open access? The NRF supports open science, which is bigger than open access. So a number of initiatives under that umbrella. We host the African Open Science Platform, which was leadership taken by the NRF and the DSTI for championing access to information for the African continent. And when we are here now talking about access, open access, we're really promoting the values of inclusivity, of equity, but also the values that align with societal impact, to engage stakeholders during the research process and after the research process.
I'm not sure how long did the NRF started supporting this initiative, but during the panel you mentioned a number of improvement or successes and achievements that have been done so far. Can you please share with our audience the achievements that have been reached so far as the NRF is supporting open access?
Okay, so the first initiative that we embarked on as the NRF was the landscape study that was done by the Academy of Science of South Africa. That was 2019, and that was laying the ground for the development of the African Open Science strategy. So through that study, there were a number of ideas that came, but also we saw some barriers to open access within the continent. Those barriers were lack of infrastructure, lack of awareness, lack of policy across the continent. Of course, there were countries that were a little bit better than others, but fast forwarding now, we see a number of progress, and a lot of progress in fact that has happened. We've got regional nodes for championing open access and open science. In Africa, they are given responsibilities. In Egypt, we've got the remote sensing node, we've got the AI and Data Institute, we've got across the continent. So there's activity, and we've seen policy adoption by Cote d'Ivoire, South Africa, Kenya, and the institutions within these countries are also adopting their policies for their countries. The NRF itself, through ourselves, through digital transformation and business advancement, we champion open science through partnerships, but also through just putting measures for our universities to champion open science.
One last question. Any challenges to be addressed going forward?
I think the main challenge is awareness, but also I think we need to work harder on inclusivity. How do we communicate with our range of stakeholders? Communication with the IKS community requires a certain skill, so there must be training that must be involved. Communication with policymakers is a certain skill. Communication with business people, that's a certain skill. So for us to talk the same language, we need to be on the same wavelength and same page with regards to science advancement.
Okay, I've heard that so many languages have been spoken and we have a lot of interpreters. So nami doti siyabonga kakhulu for everything, and please enjoy your day. Thank you so much. We're still at the summit in Cape Town.